Over the course of the past 10 years plus of doing content creation, I've always just loved having conversations with people, whether it's like in Twitch chat, or in the comment section of these videos, or IRL. In fact, I love meeting people IRL. If you ever see me out in public, do not hesitate to ever walk up and say hello. I mean it. Because people are always like, I don't want to bother you. You seem like you were just doing. No, I don't care. I could be mid-bite of a sandwich eating my lunch. And if you walk up on me, I'll be ecstatic to talk to you. So always say hello to me. That said, the other day, and by the other day, I think like yesterday, I made a post in my community section talking about if there's any question you ever wanted to know, just drop a comment in this post, and then I'll try to pick some questions and answer in the video. Now, if I did not get to your question, because they were a good amount, feel free just to drop a comment in this video, anything you've ever wanted to know, and I'll do my best to answer as many as possible over the course of the next couple of days. I really like doing these kind of videos just because it puts you like in the same room, you know, you kind of like get to meet the person more outside of just the content that you watch. So if there's anything you want to know, just let me know. With that said, first question. Oh, this is a good one. Can 3 Idiots World Rainbow Road still happen? Now, in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, we were playing Mario 3D World a couple years ago, and we got all the way to the end, and we never completed Rainbow Road, is that what it is? Basically the end of it. It's supposed to be like the most hardest, I guess, maps in existence, and playing with co-op also is very, very difficult just because we're trolls. End of the day, me, Dotto, and Dion are trolls. And the main reason why I never did this is because it's just, we gotta get together and just do it. I'm gonna just blame Dion. I'm gonna say right now, every time Dion's always like, just tell me when, except for I don't wanna do it tomorrow, or the next week, or the next week, or the next week. Every time I bring it up, Dion's always like, next week. And it's like, all right, let me just not even bother. But the other thing is, like, I feel like it's been so long. Whenever you, like, wait so long in between series, I feel like the people that are watching the beginning kind of already fell off of it. So I don't even know if it'll be worth even trying to do anymore. I want to do it solely because I think it'd be funny, but it just comes down to, I guess, the popularity of it. Again, based on what people say, maybe comment in this video, if there's enough engagement around it, then I'll definitely try to put it together and get the game together one last time, because just like one more world. But overall, though, I feel like the hype might have kind of died. I'm gonna be real with you. But if you want to make it happen, if you want us to make it happen, then comment in this video right now. The next question says, will you ever do an event similar to Dion's Month of Mayhem? It doesn't have to be holiday themed. I mean, it depends on how it's marketed. The last thing I want to do is create a month of like, the month of rhyme. It's like, all right, so you're just doing a C-Reacts thing. Because the other thing is like, no matter what we do in the content space, as soon as something's similar to like what a homie does, people immediately gonna be like, oh, you're copying. It's like, no, it's different. But overall, I don't like just straight up like taking the concept of something what my homies does and then making it my thing. Like, we had crossovers before in the series, like if you do like a specific way you do like a Fighters or Sparking Zero or Xenoverse series, and then you do one as well. But like, if it's straight up like kind of something that's iconic and staple to the channel, I don't think I'll ever want to do something like that, because it's like, that's Dion's thing. Now, if I'm not doing something like, I don't know, the Fighters Week, or like, you know, something that's like themed around how I want to do it, it's unique to me, I would definitely do something like that. But you're never gonna see me straight up do like the month of Mary or like the month of Valentine's Week or whatever. It feels too copy. That makes sense. The next question says, what is your method of saving when going to Japan so often? And to answer that is, I just don't overspend. You don't need luxuries. Whenever I go to Japan, I don't stay in the best hotel. I also don't fly business. Although I will say this last time we went, we got upgraded to business for super cheap. That's because Japan Airlines, the way they work, I think, whenever they don't sell all their business seats, they give people on that trip a chance to kind of bid. And if you're not winning it, you get upgraded. And we got upgraded for super cheap this last time. But overall, though, I don't fly business. I just fly economy. I stay in the cheap hotels. As long as it's close to the station, you can access Japan all over the place. And also, food over there is very, very cheap. In fact, whenever I go to Japan, it's cheaper to live there than it is to be here in the States, which is kind of crazy. That's how much cheaper it is over there. But yeah, you don't need all the fancy stuff. Basically, just try to minimize the flight and minimize the hotel, and you should be good. The next question says, what series is one that you are most sad didn't succeed or cancel due to feedback? And what series do you look back on the most fondly? That's a good question. It's a lot. I mean, I've done content over the course of the last 10 years. The thing that sucks about doing content the most is how stuck you are to an algorithm. Because what you guys might not know, and I get this all the time, is like, if you don't show up in those first couple slots on the YouTube page when you open up YouTube, you're not gonna get shown. Because the amount of people that actually click the subscription box is incredibly low. It's like 4% or something crazy. You could have 1 million subscribers. 1 million people can be subscribed to your channel, and most of those millions, they're not clicking the sub box. What they're clicking on is when you sit down to eat food or your work or whatever, you click on youtube.com, and then whatever's in those first 4 slots, it's usually what you click. That's what ends up getting pushed out the most, and everybody else gets kind of get put in the back pocket, where someone might remember to go back to your channel at some point. And yeah, it sucks. So for me, I gotta say it's probably Mario Maker, because Mario Maker was like the first game that wasn't Dragon Ball that I remember it like helped me break out like the anime scene. And for a while it worked, and then out of nowhere it's like I got taken out of those 4 slots. I don't know what happened. It's like the viewership was dropped like 90%. It was crazy. And after that, it's just never ever hit the algorithm again. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and at some point I have to move on. But what's funny about it is as I mentioned, sometimes you'll see a series that's happening, you don't even know. I brought Mario Maker back like a couple times now, and every single time I still get people who are like, I wish you would do Mario Maker. I'm like, bro, it's been going on! You just don't know it yet! I wish that YouTube would handle it a bit better, because like, it ends up like canceling so many more passion projects that a lot of content creators have that's completely out of their power. There's even like a bunch of games right now that I'm getting pushed out of the algorithm that people don't even know I'm doing. Or if I do like random horror games here and there, it's like there's a lot of content out there that I guess the best way to do it is, well, it's impossible to do. The best way to do it is if there's a content creator that you enjoy watching, you just gotta like check their page every couple days or so, see what they uploaded, and if there's a video that stands out, click on it. But other than that, it's like if you don't get in those first like 4, 6, 7, 8 slots, it's not gonna get shown. It's like a cycle too, because like the less you get clicked, the less likely you are to show up on that page the next day and the next day and the next day. You're not kind of like pushing yourself completely out of the algorithm. Yeah. But I gotta say, Mario Maker I just enjoy a lot. It was so fun to do. It was different. You know, I grew up with Mario as a kid, and it was just dope to be able to play that. If Mario Maker 3 ever happens, hopefully we can restore that, the algo placement. And I'll definitely try to play that, but it all depends on what the algorithm decides. Good example is Master Duel. When I uploaded Master Duel back in 2022, my thought process was no one's gonna even see this. It's gonna be one of those one-off videos that I do, because I do a lot of one-off videos, and then you move on to the next game. However, Master Duel for some reason stuck. It put me in the beginning, and then I was able to be in the Master Duel algorithm, wow, for like 3 years, and it's been great. Falling apart right now, but that's just how YouTube works. The next question says, why did you stop doing the old Super Sandwich intro, Brody? It was mad iconic. I've been watching since Dragon Block C and Battle Z. Honestly, I didn't think it mattered that much. Is this something I should bring back? I don't know, as a content creator, it's just hard to gauge sometimes when something like that is important to the video, if that makes sense. You know, like obviously everybody had their little intro, especially back in the day. You know, Dion had like, well, bam, I had my Super Sandwich intro. And at some point you just kind of like move on and evolve. I guess evolution is important as a content creator, and I always just felt like, yeah, this isn't that important. We just hop right into the video. I think that's what that's for me, is I don't like having any like super long intros before you get into the videos. Like obviously sometimes I have my bits that we do before we start the video, but I think that's just like for the hook. But overall, I just like hopping right into the video and just getting right to the meat, because like we're all busy. Ain't nobody got time to sit through a 5-minute intro. Like just get to the point, man. But yeah, if this is something that I should bring back, if it's that important, if it's that something that's like that will gauge the video differently, then I guess let me know down below. I've heard you say Gal's team for Street Fighter Ghosts on anything. Did you play at your wedding? I walked out to the Kaiba theme song at my wedding. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, like the, you know, the fast paced dun, 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 like that one. I walked out to the Kaiba theme song. I can't show it because copyright. I think it was on my, I believe I put it on my Instagram if I remember correctly. But yeah, I think it was the most iconic song to walk out to. So yeah, I still had Yu-Gi-Oh! On my wedding. When you're stuck in a slump, what makes you get out of said slump? Ooh, that's a good one. I am human at the end of the day. I have the same emotions and I have the same, you know, chemical balances that happen in the brain as everybody else. And slumps definitely do happen. Whether they're like the depressive slumps or sad slumps or like the writer blocks or like, what do I do? It happens all the time. Honestly, the best way to do it is you gotta have some kind of hobby. You know, one of my biggest hobbies obviously is Yu-Gi-Oh! And I am super into cards, you know, whether it be Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. You know, I have a bunch of different TCGs that I'm like into. And honestly, whenever I'm just like in a slump, I just pick up the thing that I like, you know, and just play card games. Maybe hop on a game, something else, play with some friends, you know, just kind of try to disconnect, you know. One thing I've been trying to do the most in the past like 2 years now is stay off the internet more. Like I don't have Twitter on my phone anymore. I don't, which is why like a lot of times I'll open up my Twitter and I'll see people message me and I'm like, yo, bro, I don't want to tell you this, but I don't see these anymore. And it's just because like with Twitter, you're just doom scrolling all the time. You see a bunch of like negative stuff happening in the world, and it's like it affects you mentally. So my thought process was, I don't hate Twitter, but I don't want to be always on it, so I just deleted it. And for me to get back into my Twitter, I need like a physical key. So if I delete it off my phone, I can't just reinstall it on my phone without that key. So I just, that's probably the best way to do it, is stay away from stuff that makes you sad and consuming things that you love. What do you think about 3 Idiots Mario Kart World with Dion's stupid freaking steering wheel? And next and most importantly, what do you think about the unbridled return of Delinquent Duo? I still have Mario Kart deleted. I'm not downloading that game. But as far as Delinquent Duo, it's a good question because I know a lot of people wondering what the hell happened to Delinquent Duo. Now, if you were around for when we did that video a couple months ago, you probably saw kind of what went down. But let me explain the entire Delinquent Duo lore because I feel like it just kind of disappeared and just left people asking questions and it became visceral. So Delinquent Duo was originally recorded, the entire like 14 episodes that we made, 15 actually, 15 episodes when I was leaving to Japan last year. So it was recorded like November over the course of a week. And then I just kind of spread it out and released it once a week up until we ran out of episodes, which was end of January, something like that. So it was all recorded in one sitting basically. However, the problem was when I came back from Japan, Dion had a couple things going on in his life. He was constructing a basement where he was supposed to be his brand new setup for making content. And 2, he started working on practicing for YCS, which is a professional Yu-Gi-Oh circuit, which he ended up doing with Team Samurai X Sam back in like March. During that period, that man was not responding to text. That man was locked in. He wasn't responding to messages, Discord, nothing. He was gone, just gone. So at that point, I was faced with the challenge where I was like, all right, well, I can't keep waiting. I'm gonna go do something else. So I started a shadow lock with Dado. And it was just basically like, all right, it's gone, it's done. We're just done. We gotta move on. And during this time, people were getting pissed. They were like, "You're not releasing it because you're lazy." Yada, yada, yada. They were like getting super angry. They were calling me lazy. They were calling me all sorts of names. And I'm thinking like, I get you enjoy the series, but this is kind of crazy. Y'all know I can't. This is out of my power right now, right? There's nothing I can do about it. And then Dion ends up hitting me in like May. And he's like, "Hey man, what happened to Delinquent Duo?" And I wanted to strangle him. I'm like, "Bro, you disappeared. What you mean, what happened?" So then we shot a one-off episode and we planned on recording some Delinquent Duo that week. However, what happened was when I uploaded that Delinquent Duo, everyone was pissed. What people didn't realize is Delinquent Duo is not meant to be a Yu-Gi-Oh series. Delinquent Duo is supposed to be a tag for me and Syriax. And this is never really explained because when the series started, it was kind of released while I was out of town. And then it became basically, to you guys, a Yu-Gi-Oh series. But Delinquent Duo is meant to be a tag whenever me and Dion get together, whether we played Master Duel, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Sparking Zero, Xenoverse, whatever, any random one-off game. Delinquent Duo is like my version of the 2 Idiots, but it's like, you know Dion's there. And we never got a chance to explain that because, again, I wasn't really in town present for it, and it was supposed to evolve over the course of the next couple of months. However, with it falling off and then disappearing, it was kind of hard to explain that. So when we uploaded the Delinquent Duo Egyptian God Duel, a lot of people were pissed that it was the next episode. They were like, "This is not Delinquent Duo, this is not Delinquent." They were getting mad at me. And I'm trying to explain, I'm like, this is my series, this is how it works. Like, this is Delinquent Duo, how you gonna tell me what isn't? And at no point did it say episode 16 in the title either. It just said Delinquent Duo versus Egyptian God Battle, something like that, something simple. And yeah, people were pissed. I think I had to ban like 500 people that day because they were all insane. You won't see it. You know, a lot of people were like, "I don't even see any comments." Yeah, because they're gone. People were insane. This is what we always say as content creators. If you enjoy a video, if you truly enjoy it, make sure to leave a like in the comment. Because if there's enough positive, it's always going to drown out the negative. But if it's just people with pitchforks yelling at you, that's all you see. And my feedback is like, all right, if people don't like this, let me move on. So that's kind of like what happened. And after that, we just chose not to continue it. Not to say it's completely canceled. I really do want to bring it back. I'm just like worried if I bring it back that people are going to be crazy about it. So yeah, I know people enjoyed it. It was very fun. It was probably one of my most favorite series I've ever done. But at the same time, it's like, is it worth my sanity? But yeah, now you know. Delinquent Duo is meant to be a tag whenever me and Syriax get together and do a video. And also, I know someone's gonna be like, if he's always so gone, then how'd you guys do 3 Idiots? You don't understand the pain it is when it comes to scheduling 3 Idiots content. It is so hard to do that. Either sometimes me and Dion are here and then Dado's gone, or Dado and I are here and then Dion's gone, and it's like this loop. We have come together and figure out that we finally got a day where we record together, and it's been kind of working, but sometimes not really. But even that, we still end up going like weeks sometimes without making content just because our schedules just don't line up. It's 3 people. But yeah, if I can figure out the scheduling aspect and getting actually Dion to hop on, then we can bring it back. But again, it's something that I also gotta keep in mind where it's like, bring it back, how are people gonna react? If it's more negative than positive, I think I'm just gonna move on. it's just, people are crazy. Again, no disrespect to people who enjoyed. I thought it was a great series. It's just, you gotta relax. You gotta chill, man. So yeah, if you have any other questions about that, let me know, and then I'll try to address more down below. Are the 3 idiots ever going to do a vanilla Minecraft Let's Play? I don't know if I want to. You know, we had the DBZ Minecraft collab, which was horrible. I uploaded along with Dion and Dado, and mine didn't hit the algorithm. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't hit the algorithm, people don't even know you uploaded it. When the Minecraft DBZ thing happened, all 3 of us made videos independently. Not the same video, there were 3 different videos. And mine just didn't hit any algorithm. It was like the worst performing 3 idiots content I've ever made. Which to me, again, my brain immediately goes, all right, if you do 3 idiots play Dragon Block or 3 idiots play Minecraft, you won't even know what's happening. So I kind of changed my mind of wanting to do that. I know people are gonna be like, no, do it anyways, it's gonna work. It's unfortunately not gonna work, it's just how it is, you know? If you didn't see the Minecraft thing the first time, you're not gonna see it the second time. And before people are like, well, Minecraft DBZ collab was ass, you know, that's why people might not have, like, we uploaded that frame 1. We uploaded that the morning of when it came out. And like I said, 2 of the 3 videos hit the algorithm, 1 didn't. So yeah, I think I might just move on from that idea just because setting up a Minecraft Dragon Block server is very difficult. It's annoying, always breaks, and then also figuring out a schedule with 3 people in the series is just going to be insane. And if it's not gonna work, I definitely don't want to invest my time into that. But that's basically where I stand with that right now. When is it gonna be another Shenanigoons versus the 3 idiots? This is a good question. We actually have a group chat on Discord that I guess is probably just full of cobwebs right now. But nothing's really come up. If there's ever something that fits the 6 of us, you guys can definitely recommend it. If there's enough hype around something, we'll definitely do it. But other than that, we haven't really talked about it that much. I mean, we tossed in a couple of ideas. Like, I remember we wanted to do like Master Duel stuff, which was always funny. But other than that, I don't really know. I mean, we obviously love all 3 of them, and any content we get together with will be like amazing chemistry, I think. But it just gotta make sense. If something pops up, honestly, you know what we should do? I might hit him up about this. We should do something goofy like Peak. Imagine all the 6 of us playing Peak, or you know what? That might be fun. I might pitch that idea. But then again, at the same time, getting 6 people together. The biggest thing about content creation sometimes that like takes videos into the void and lets them never come out the void is the scheduling aspect. And getting 3 people together to do content is already hard enough, but getting 6, especially all over the world, it just sounds like a headache. And I think that's the other reason why we haven't really done it. How long do you plan on doing YouTube for? Like, can I count on Rhyme always being there, or do I gotta prepare myself for a goodbye video one day? I mean, nothing lasts forever. I'll say that much. I will tell you this, you know, 11 years into the game, actually 11 years plus, some change, I still always fiend to just make content. It's just really fun to me. Even when I was in Japan, the whole time I kept thinking, I was like, I wish I had my setup. I wish I could just be recording while I was out here. And that's a good sign, I guess. If you enjoy making it, I guess it's a good thing. But it's not gonna be forever. I mean, for all you know, one day, you know, knock on wood, for all you know, one day I get completely pushed out algorithm and it's like, you can't make content anymore. It's like, all right, well, if YouTube says it's time to pack it up, it's time to pack it up. But hopefully it doesn't come anytime soon. I just say that. Ooh, this is a good one. During the period, we're doing 2 videos a day, having left you 9 to 5. How did you balance relationships, friendship time, alone time, etc.? It's a good question. The answer is I didn't know. And also for those, you know, for the first 5 years, in case you don't know, the first 5 years of me doing content, I was doing 2 videos a day while working at a startup for like 80 hours a week. I was working in that office from like 7:30 to 8 a.m. to about 7 o'clock every single night, on call on weekends, while doing 2 videos a day, editing it all myself. I had no life. I had no balance. I only focused on going to work, getting off, and making videos, because I guess that was like the hole I would fall into to escape real life. And then even when I left my 9 to 5, somehow I just felt like I didn't have time, because now that I was more focused on content, I was doing that 24/7. I was locked in on just being in front of the screen, trying to figure out what to upload for the next day. It wasn't healthy. It got to the point where I realized I wasn't living at all. Like, I was in here from like 9 to 9 every single day. You make content, you go outside, go to sleep, wake up, rinse and repeat. It was like that nonstop. And that's why at some point I had a breaking point. You know, when I hit 10 years, my goal was to upload daily for 10 years. When I hit 10 years, I stopped. I was like, I'm good, I'm out. I quit every other day from here on out. And the breaking point for me was when I was going to Japan right around the time before I hit my 10-year anniversary. And me and Dada recorded 40 videos over the course of like 8 days to upload for the next 3 weeks when we were gone in Japan. 40 videos. And I came so close to quitting right there. Not quitting content, but quitting the daily content, because it was so much. 40 videos non-stop, back to back, was just like, ugh. When I got back from that trip and then started doing videos every other day, it became a lot better. I was living more, and that's when I started balancing. So it took me 10 years to actually start going outside, start hanging out, you know, with my loved ones, with my friends. Before that, I was just here 24/7 nonstop, and I do not recommend that. I absolutely do not recommend that. Why don't you done the season 2 of the Dragon Ball Draft? Such a freaking good idea. The answer to that question is, I don't really know. I'll be honest, the Dragon Draft idea was just an idea that I kind of spawned out of nowhere while going on a trip to Japan once again. It's always come down to the Japan trip. And I thought it would just be a cool way to keep people invested in something while I was gone. But like, as it being like a staple on the channel was never really intended to be a staple. I mean, I guess it could be, you know. The problem is like, anytime we do any ongoing series, it's like getting a homie to like lock in for potentially weeks of content for something is a lot harder than being like, hey man, you want to do a random one-off video? Like, even with Shadowlock, I can't get Dado to sit down with me to finish the series. So we might just move on from that. But like, if it's a random one-off series, it's like people are always around it. It's just kind of crazy. But to answer the question, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I might bring it back at some point. The other issue is like, I gotta figure out who to do it with. The thing about Dion is fantastic and being good at every game. The problem is all my other friends are not like that. If I bring my other friends into, let's say a Dragon Draft Season 2, I am significantly gonna be better at some of these games than my friends. You know, my friends might get me in the game or two, but then like everything else, I'm just stopping them out, and that might not be as entertaining. So that's another kind of thing I think about. It's like a lot of these like Dragon Ball games I played religiously, you know? So it's like I can like lock in if I really want to. That's why Dion was perfect for that series, because Dion has at some point played every single one of these games and he was like pretty good at them. But as far as like, you know, the next question is probably gonna be, well, bring back Dion. It's like, well, at that point you're just kind of like, you know, doing the same thing again. It might not be as exciting. That's really why. I might bring it back at some point, but I gotta figure out how to do it if I ever end up, you know, truly bringing it back. Opinions of Genshin Squadra. I just don't like it. I can't get into it. You know, all the other games, great. For how they play and what they are, they're very enjoyable. But Genshin Squadra for me is just that's a hard pass. And it's not even like missing features that I'm looking for or characters. I just don't care. I know the second they add Beerus, I'm gonna get tagged nonstop. Like, oh, it's time for Ryan to play the game. I think I'm good. Just not my type of game. That's all there is to it. Where does Xenoverse 2 3 in its raids? I miss it. We say this all the time. It takes a long time to make these raids. So Levi, as you guys know, is the one who puts together, compiles these raids for us. He usually works in these raids for like 3 weeks. And while he's working those raids, he's working a raid for one of us. And then if he completes mine, then Dado can be like, yo, can I get one? And then Dion, and rinse and repeat. The other thing though is like whenever the game updates, it breaks everything. So we have to wait for Patcher to come out. Then once that's out, then we can start working on more. So it's kind of like a never-ending cycle of like a lot of stuff that's just being thrown out there. A lot of people think that these raids just take like a day. They don't. They take weeks to make. And then even then, once the raid is done, it takes us sometimes weeks to get together on the same schedule to record the video. And that's kind of like where we're at with that. I do got one being worked on that I think might be really, really fun. But other than that, it's like we're just kind of at the mercy of like the other elements are completely out of our power. This is like one of my least favorite questions that pops up a lot. Are you and Nano friends anymore? Or are y'all just distant? Yes, we're still friends. You guys just don't see the content you're looking for. Usually the people that ask these questions are the ones that only want to watch like Dokkan Legends content, which I'm not going to do anymore. As far as like the games that Nano plays, we have like no crossover. He doesn't play Sparking, he doesn't play Xenoverse, he doesn't play, you know, Master Duel. So we can't just make content on games like that. So whenever I have Nano on a channel, it's always something kind of random, one-off. But because the game is so random and one-off, it doesn't show up in your algorithm. So you end up not seeing that we just played together. I mean, there's also the squad channel where we play together every single week. He shows up to every single one of the sessions. Yes, we're still friends. We're not making content for Dokkan Legends anymore. That's all it is. Ah! He was at my wedding, man. He was at my wedding. So y'all not friends anymore? Nah, my favorite thing was when I did the wedding, I posted a couple pictures. You know, again, I'm a pretty private guy. I posted a couple pictures, and instead of getting like, you know, oh my God, congrats, which we did, a lot of the questions were either people were saying congrats, or a lot of people were saying, wow, Nano's at the wedding. I knew it. It's like, bro, what the fuck are y'all talking about? He was there. You saw like 2 pictures and was like, wow, why is that, you know, picture of 4 people doesn't show the whole wedding? Come on, dog. Come on. Anyways, yes, we're still friends. But we're just not making Dokkan and Legends content. That's all it is at the end of the day. All right, I think I'll stop with this one as the final one because I feel like we already got pretty deep into the video, and then I gotta edit it down and everything. But when you say you're gonna stop doing Yugi content, is that just for the channel or others too? Ooh, that's a good question actually. So with the algorithm changing recently, it's getting to the point where I gotta figure out what to do next. Because with Master Duel used to do great on the channel because I was hitting, you know, those slots that I mentioned at the beginning, those first couple slots on the YouTube page. But now because the lack of interest in Master Duel, is continually declining, that's not happening anymore. So it's like now it's not viable to do content for Master Duel anymore. You know, I mean, obviously there's still Delinquent Duo that I, you know, talked about potentially bringing back. But even that, if that comes back, you might not know even it's back. If we post the next Delinquent Duo, there's a good chance you won't know that it's back, because that's just how the algorithm works. Unless you're actively checking the page to see what was uploaded, that's just how it works. But yeah, that's just really it. It's just Master Duel is just not working anymore. So when something stops working, you can't just drown with the ship. You gotta figure out how to get to the next, you know, stage as a content creator, whether it be another game or new like trend. You gotta kind of keep up. And right now, Master Duel is in such a decline that it's just kind of hard to keep doing content for that. Like no matter what you do, it just, the reach is like 80% less than it was, you know, a couple months ago, and that sucks. But as far as doing content for others, it depends. If Master Duel is one of those things that's completely like declined for my brand, I might just completely move past it. But again, it's not because I want to. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, look, literally got decks all around me and cards. But it just comes down to the algorithm. Like I said, if the algorithm changed tomorrow and was like, hey, never mind, then you know you're gonna see non-stop content like before. But it's just, I'm at the mercy of an AI basically, and that AI is the Google search. And when the Google search says no, then it's like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna be I don't know, a Pokemon content creator, or a horror game content creator, or a water drinker content creator. You know, whatever's next basically. That's kind of like how content creation works. Yeah. Hopefully that answers it. It might not. It's kind of a tough one to really get into. I mean, it's like looking at how Mario Maker used to work on the channel. It was like a big staple for the first like 8 months, and then suddenly like the valve shut off. I'll never forget, I posted a Mario Maker video. It was like, the first one did pretty bad because it's the first time I do this kind of content. And then it got up to the point where Mario Maker content was like doing like 80,000 to 100,000 views. And then suddenly, the next week, that episode did like 40. And I'm like, oh, what happened? Maybe people didn't like this one. And then after that, you just kept getting less and less and less, to the point now where if I upload Mario Maker, it might do 10,000 views after like a month, which is crazy. But again, it's just because you're just not seeing it. It's just not showing up in your feed. Unless you actively checking the page, the sub box, it's hard to like let you know that the content is still happening, if that makes sense. But yeah, hopefully that answers it. But again, this is why I always say, whenever you watch anything, any kind of video from any content creator, if you truly enjoy it and you want them to continue it, make sure you leave a like on that video. If you like that video, you comment on it, that's going to keep showing it up on your front page. If you don't do that, if you just watch a one-off and then walk away, that video is going to cease to exist on your feed. It's very, very important. I cannot stress how important it is. We don't say like the video and comment it because we want more engagement. We're saying that so you know it's being uploaded. That's basically it. Yeah. All right, if there's anything else I missed, because there's a bunch of questions, just drop me a comment down below and I'll try to go through as many as possible and answer it when this video goes up as well. But if you enjoy videos like this, I definitely want to do more. And as I said, if you enjoy the content, like and comment. Like and comment, and then I got you with more content like this in the future. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the comment section below. Peace.